Upbeat, friendly music starts and fades to background. Hey cat moms and cat dads! Picture this. You've had a long day. You decide to treat yourself. You walk past a flower shop and see the most beautiful bouquet of lilies. They're gorgeous, they smell amazing, and they'll look perfect on your kitchen table. You bring them home, place them in a vase, and within seconds your furry little supervisor is on the scene, sniffing, inspecting, maybe even giving a curious little head boop. You think, oh, how cute. As long as he doesn't eat it, we're fine. Right? Wrong. Terribly, horribly, life-threateningly wrong. What if I told you that just by bringing that bouquet into your house, you've started a ticking clock on a potential tragedy, and your cat doesn't have to take a single bite? Think your cat is safe? Stick around, because we're about to expose the sneakiest, most beautiful killer that might be sitting in your home right now. And trust me, you need to know this. First, pop the name of your furry inspector in the comments below. So before we dive into the floral horror story, let's talk about our cats for a second. These creatures are perfect tiny predators wrapped in a fluffy, purring package. Their DNA screams, investigate everything, pounce on it, lick it, see if it's food or a toy. They are curious by nature. It's what kept their ancestors alive. A rustle in the grass could be a mouse, and a new smell could be a threat. This instinct is hardwired into their adorable little brains. But here's the problem. Their bodies, specifically their delicate little kidneys, were designed to process a diet of mice and birds, not the weird exotic plants we humans like to decorate with. Their metabolism is unique, and they lack certain enzymes to break down toxins that might not even affect a dog or a human. They are, in a biological sense, incredibly sensitive little beings who trust us to create a safe kingdom for them to rule. And that's where our job as their loyal staff comes in. First things first, let's get specific. When we say lilies, what are we talking about? The word lily gets thrown around for a lot of flowers, but for cat owners, there are two groups we need to know, the uh-oh group and the get it out of the house now group. The truly terrifyingly deadly ones belong to the true lily family, which includes genera like Lilium. Think tiger lilies, daylilies, Asiatic lilies, Easter lilies, and stargazer lilies. These are the ones this video is all about. They are the beautiful arch-villains of the plant world for our cats. Then you have other plants that are called lilies, but aren't true lilies, like the peace lily, calla lily, or Peruvian lily. Now these are still toxic. They contain crystals that can cause severe irritation, drooling and pain in the mouth if your cat chews on them, which is definitely a bad day for everyone involved and requires a vet visit. But they don't typically cause the acute, fatal kidney failure that the true lilies do. Knowing the difference is good, but the golden rule is always, if it has lily in the name, assume it's a threat and keep it far, far away. So what's the big deal with these true lilies? What's their evil superpower? In a word, kidneys. For reasons that scientists are still trying to fully understand, every single part of a true lily plant is profoundly toxic to cats and cats alone. We're talking the petals, the leaves, the stem, the pollen, and even the water in the vase. When a cat is exposed to any part of this plant, the unknown toxin launches a full-scale assault on their kidneys. It causes something called acute renal failure. Basically, the cat's kidneys, the vital organs responsible for filtering waste from their blood, just shut down. They stop working, and when the filters stop working, toxins build up in the body at an alarming rate, leading to a catastrophic and often irreversible system failure. It's a fast-acting, aggressive, and devastating poison. Think of it as a biological self-destruct sequence, triggered by the most innocent-looking flower. It's not a tummy ache, it's a full-blown medical crisis. Now let's talk about dosage, because this is the part that truly terrifies me and should terrify you. How much of the lily plant does it take to cause this catastrophic kidney failure? Are we talking about a cat sitting down and eating an entire flower like it's a salad? No, We are talking about an infinitesimal amount. Ingesting just 1 or 2 leaves or a single petal is more than enough to be fatal. But it gets worse. The most insidious part of this plant is the pollen. You know, that yellow or orange dust that gets all over your nose when you smell a flower. For a cat, that stuff is like radioactive dust. Just a few grains of lily pollen landing on a cat's fur, which they later lick off while grooming themselves, can be enough to cause complete kidney failure and death. Let that sink in. A few microscopic grains. Your cat doesn't even have to go near the flower on purpose. They could simply brush past the table the vase is on, get a little dusting of pollen on their coat, and their fate could be sealed hours later when they decide it's bath time. This brings us to the most common way cats get poisoned, and it's why the title of this video is so tragically accurate. It's the pollen. That beautiful golden pollen is the silent assassin. Lilies, especially varieties like stargazers, are notorious for producing copious amounts of it. This pollen is light and can travel through the air, settling on your floors, your furniture, and yes, your cat. Your feline overlord, who might spend half its waking hours meticulously grooming, is a walking pollen magnet. They could be napping on the couch 10 feet away from the bouquet, get a few grains on their back, and then ingest it during their afternoon cleaning ritual. They are literally poisoning themselves without ever knowing it, and you would have no idea anything was even wrong. It's a perfect tragic storm of a cat's natural fastidiousness and a plant's silent toxicity. You might even see that yellow dust on their nose and think it's cute, without realizing you're looking at a lethal weapon. Let's follow that pollen particle on its journey of doom. It has landed on your cat, Fluffy's back. Fluffy, being the pristine creature she is, feels this foreign particle and her instincts kick in. Must be clean. Her rough little tongue, perfectly designed with barbs to comb through her fur, goes to work. She licks the spot, and the pollen is transferred into her mouth and swallowed. It travels down into her digestive system, where the unknown toxin is rapidly absorbed into her bloodstream. From there, it makes a beeline for its primary target, the kidneys. Specifically, it attacks the renal tubules, the microscopic filtering structures within the kidneys. The toxin causes these cells to die off rapidly. It's like pouring acid into the most delicate parts of a water filtration plant. The damage is swift, severe, and widespread. The kidneys lose their ability to filter waste, produce urine, and regulate essential electrolytes in the body. And all of this was set in motion by a single, innocent lick of her own fur. But the pollen isn't the only stealthy delivery method for this poison. Let's talk about the vase water. It seems harmless, right? Just water. But after a few hours of the lily stem sitting in it, that water becomes a toxic soup. The poison leaches out of the stems and into the water, creating a deadly cocktail. Now, we all know cats can be weird about water. You buy them a $50 filtered water fountain, and what do? They drink out of the toilet, or a dirty puddle outside, or, you guessed it, a flower vase. To a cat, that vase is just a new, interesting water bowl. They might hop up on the table for a curious sip while you're not looking. That single sip of lily-infused water contains more than enough of the toxin to shut down their kidneys. This is another scenario where the cat didn't chew on the plant at all, but the poison found a way in. It's why just having lilies in the house, even up on a high shelf, is like leaving a loaded gun on the coffee table. And of course, there's the more direct route, the curious nibble. While the pollen and water are the stealthiest threats, some cats are, shall we say, more orally adventurous. These are the cats who believe every plant is a salad bar, every cord is a piece of spaghetti, and every plastic bag is a crunchy snack. For these cats, a leafy green plant sitting on the table is an open invitation. A tiny bite of a leaf while you're in the other room, a quick chew on a petal. That's all it takes. The cat might not even like the taste. They might take one bite and walk away, leaving you to find a tiny puncture mark in a leaf later, if you even notice it at all. You might think, oh, he just tasted it and didn't like it, no harm done. But the harm is already done. The toxin has been ingested. The clock has started. This is why the argument, "but my cat doesn't eat plants," is one of the most dangerous assumptions a cat owner can make. It only takes a second of curiosity. So, the worst has happened. Your cat has been exposed. What happens next? The signs of lily poisoning are cruel because they come in two distinct stages. The first stage begins within a few hours of ingestion. Your cat might start vomiting. They might seem unusually tired and lethargic. Not their usual, "I'm a cat and I require 18 hours of sleep tired," but a profound sickly lethargy. They might stop eating and seem depressed. Now, what does this sound like to you? It sounds like almost any minor cat illness, right? A hairball, something they ate that disagreed with them, a simple stomach bug. This is the tragic part. Many owners will see these signs and think, "Oh, he'll be fine. Let's just watch him for a day." But with lily poisoning, you don't have a day. This is the golden window for treatment, and it's often missed because the initial symptoms are so vague and common. This is your cat's body screaming for help, and it's critical that we listen. If the poisoning isn't caught in that initial stage, the cat might seem to get better for a little while. This is the cruelest trick of all. The vomiting might stop, and you might think, "Phew, crisis averted. He got it out of his system." But this is a false recovery. During this period, the toxin is silently and relentlessly destroying the kidneys. After about 24 to 72 hours, the second and far more severe stage begins. This is when the kidneys have completely failed. Your cat will become extremely ill. They may become dehydrated, either producing large amounts of dilute urine, or, more ominously, no urine at all because the kidneys have stopped functioning. They may show increased thirst, more vomiting, and a lack of coordination. Their breath might have a chemical or ammonia-like odour. At this point, the prognosis is extremely poor. The damage is done, and it is almost always irreversible. This is why immediate action is not just important, it's the only chance your cat has. Let's put this in perspective with a timeline. This isn't a slow-acting poison. This is a race against the clock, where every single minute counts. From the moment of exposure, a lick of pollen, a sip of water, a bite of a leaf, you have approximately 18 hours. 18 hours to get your cat to a veterinarian for aggressive treatment to have a good chance of survival. If you can get them to the vet within the first 6 hours, the prognosis is much better. After 18 hours, the kidney damage is often so severe that it becomes permanent and irreversible. At that point, even with the best veterinary care in the world, the chances of survival plummet. Think about that. If your cat nibbles a lily leaf while you're at work, the critical window for treatment might be almost closed by the time you get home. It's a terrifyingly small amount of time. This is not a wait-and-see situation. It is a drop everything and run to the emergency vet situation. Let's say you suspect your cat has been exposed. Maybe you saw them near the lilies, or you found a chewed leaf, or they just started vomiting and you have lilies in the house. What do you do right now? Step 1. Get the cat away from the plant. Step 2. Call your veterinarian or the nearest emergency vet clinic immediately. Do not wait. Tell them you suspect lily poisoning. This is a recognised veterinary emergency and they will know what to do. If you can, take a picture of the plant or bring a piece of it with you in a sealed bag so they can confirm the identification. Step 3. Follow their instructions precisely and get your cat to the clinic as fast as humanly possible. Do not try to induce vomiting at home unless specifically instructed to by a vet, as it can sometimes make things worse. Your calm, swift action is your cat's best hope. The car ride will be stressful, you'll be panicking, but you have to be their advocate and get them that help. When you arrive at the vet, what happens next? The veterinary team will spring into action. They'll likely start by inducing vomiting if the exposure was very recent, to get any remaining plant matter out of the stomach. They may also administer activated charcoal, which is a substance that can bind to toxins in the digestive tract and prevent them from being absorbed into the body. But the absolute cornerstone of treatment is aggressive intravenous, IV, Fluid therapy. They will place an IV catheter and start pumping fluids directly into your cat's veins. The goal of this is to flush the toxins out of the system and support the kidneys, trying to protect them from further damage. They will need to be hospitalized for this, usually for at least 48 to 72 hours, while the vets monitor their kidney function with repeated blood and urine tests. It's an intensive, expensive, and emotionally draining process, but it's the only way. Now for the hard truth. Even with prompt and aggressive treatment, survival is not guaranteed. The outcome depends entirely on how quickly the treatment was started, how much toxin was ingested, and the individual cat's response. If treatment is initiated before the kidneys have sustained significant damage, the cat has a good chance of making a full recovery. However, if treatment is delayed and the kidneys have already started to fail, the prognosis is grave. Some cats may survive the initial crisis, but be left with chronic kidney disease for the rest of their lives, requiring ongoing management and a special diet, and many, tragically, will not make it. This is why prevention is 1,000,000 times better than a cure. The emotional toll of watching your beloved pet go through this, and the financial cost of intensive care, is immense. It's a heartbreaking situation that is, in almost every case, completely avoidable. I can hear some of you thinking it right now. But my cat is different. My cat, Sir Reginald Fluffington III, is a distinguished gentleman who has never touched a houseplant in his 9 lives. I get it. We love to think our cats are above such common foolish behaviours. But I'm here to tell you that is a dangerous, dangerous gamble. A cat's behaviour can be unpredictable. A cat that has ignored a plant for 5 years might suddenly decide one day that it looks interesting. A moment of boredom, a playful swat that knocks pollen loose, a new scent. It could be anything. Or what about a new cat or kitten in the house? Or a visiting friend's cat? Relying on your cat's past behaviour is not a safety plan. It's wishful thinking. The only guaranteed way to keep your cat safe from lily poisoning is to enforce a strict, zero-tolerance, no lilies allowed policy in your home. It's just not worth the risk. Another huge danger is the hidden lily. You might be very diligent about not buying lilies yourself, but what about gifts? Think about that beautiful mixed bouquet your partner brought home for your anniversary, or the get-well-soon arrangement a friend sent over. Florists love to use lilies as filler because they are large, fragrant, and long-lasting. You might be so focused on the roses and daisies that you don't even notice the 1 or 2 lily stems tucked into the back. Or even worse, the unopened lily buds that you don't recognise, which will then bloom in a day or 2 and release their pollen all over your home. It's crucial to become a lily detective. Whenever any floral arrangement enters your house, no matter who it's from, you must inspect it carefully. Identify every single stem. If you find a lily, you have to get the entire bouquet out of the house immediately. It might feel rude, but it's better than feeling devastated. Okay, so I've spent this whole video being the harbinger of floral doom. You're probably thinking, great, now I can never have a nice thing in my house again. Don't despair. Your dream of having a home that doesn't just look like a collection of cardboard boxes and cat trees is still alive. There are plenty of beautiful, vibrant, and most importantly, cat-safe flowers you can enjoy. Roses are a classic choice and are generally considered safe. Sunflowers can bring a wonderful pop of yellow to your room. Other options include gerbera daisies, orchids, snapdragons, and zinnias. There are tons of beautiful choices that won't send you into a panic every time your cat walks by them. The key is to do your research before you buy. A quick search on the ASPCA's toxic plant list can give you peace of mind. You can still have beauty in your home without risking your best friend's life. You just have to choose wisely. The responsibility doesn't end with our own homes. We, as the cat-obsessed community, need to spread this information far and wide. So many well-meaning people, including cat owners, are simply unaware of this danger. Your friend might post a picture on Instagram of their cute cat sniffing a bouquet of stargazer lilies, and they have no idea the mortal danger their pet is in. Your mom might be planning to bring Easter lilies to your house for the holiday, thinking she's doing something nice. We have to be the ones to educate them. Share this video, talk to your friends and family who have cats, gently inform that person on Instagram. When you're at the grocery store and you see someone with a cat food brand in their cart also picking up lilies, maybe find a polite way to mention it. It might be an awkward conversation, but that awkward 5 minutes could save a beloved pet's life. We have to look out for each other and for our cats. Let's do a quick final recap of the absolutely critical points. Rule number 1, true lilies, like tiger, day, Asiatic and Easter lilies, are a death sentence for cats. Rule number 2, every single part of the plant is toxic, from the flower petals to the water in the vase. Rule number 3, the amount required to kill is microscopic. A few grains of pollen licked off the fur is enough. Rule number 4, the initial symptoms are vague and easily missed, but the clock for effective treatment is terrifyingly short. You have hours, not days. Rule number 5, the only, and I mean only way to keep your cat safe is to never, ever allow these plants into your home. Not on a high shelf, not in a closed room, not for a single day. The risk is absolute, and the consequences are catastrophic. Your cat's life is infinitely more precious than any floral arrangement. It's a simple choice when you think about it that way, isn't it? Now, I know this has been a really heavy topic. It's not our usual video about why cats love boxes or the funniest Zoomies compilation, but it's a topic that is profoundly important. Our cats rely on us for everything. They trust us to provide them with food, shelter, and safety. They give us so much unconditional love, head boops, purrs, and biscuits. The least we can do is ensure their home, their kingdom, is a safe haven, not a place filled with hidden dangers. Being a responsible pet parent means being educated, and now you are. You have the knowledge to protect your own cat and to help protect others. It's a serious responsibility, but it's the price we pay for the incredible joy these little fluff balls bring into our lives. And honestly, it's a price we are more than willing to pay, because they are family, and we would do anything for them. It is our duty as their loyal servants. So, to all my fellow cat servants out there, I hope this video has been helpful, even if it was a bit scary. The goal isn't to terrify you, but to empower you with knowledge. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it's the power to save a life. You are now officially a deputized member of the Lily Patrol. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to keep your feline overlords safe from these beautiful but deadly assassins. Go check your house, have those conversations with your friends and family, and give your cat an extra chin scratch from me. They deserve it for just being their awesome, weird, and wonderful selves. Thank you for taking the time to learn about this. It really, really matters. Your cat might not be able to thank you, but they'll show their appreciation in their own way, probably by knocking something off a shelf later. But that's just how they show love, right? It's all part of the deal. So there you have it. The beautiful silent killer. That is the lily. Now you know that your cat doesn't need to eat them to be in mortal danger. From a speck of pollen to a sip of water, the threat is real, and it is everywhere. But the solution is simple. A lily-free home is a safe home for your cat. End of story. Despite all the ways they try to accidentally unalive themselves, we love these little weirdos more than anything, don't we? Their quirks, their chaos. It's all part of the package. Protecting them is our #1 job. If this video helped you or taught you something new, please give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more essential cat care tips. And please share this video with every single person you know who has a cat. It's that important. Now for today's question, what is the absolute craziest non-food item your cat has ever tried to eat? Let me know in the comments below. Stay safe and give your kitties a cuddle from all of us here. Bye.